I'm super excited, everybody. We have some brand new leaks for Pokemon Legends Arceus that talks about some in-game features, as well as some post-game content. Let's get started. Hello, everybody. Blaine here for Bridge4 Games. So you guys know how this works. We have some brand new leaks that we're going to be sharing with you guys right now. Not only do we have some more features, obviously, features keep being found in the game as people are playing through it and data mining it and all that good stuff. But on top of that, we have some details and kind of some information about what the post-game is going to look like for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, obviously, I am super excited because not only do these games seem really cool and seem very different from what we're used to, these games offer potentially one of the longest and most challenging Pokemon games that we've had in a very long time, and I am super excited to dive in and start playing. So we're going to go ahead and dive in and see what the Hisui region has waiting for us, but before I do, I just want to take a second to ask that if you like the videos we have here on the channel, please make sure that you actually like them by hitting the thumbs up button, and of course consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community to make sure that you never miss any of the awesome videos like these, especially with all the Pokemon Legends Arceus content we have nowadays. Alright, that being said, next up, the Hisui region. Alright everybody, so we're going to go ahead and get started, but before I do, I just want to let you know, I mirrored all of the images that actually come from the actual game. I did this on purpose, this wasn't an accident, or I didn't, forget to flip it back or anything. I want to continue bringing you guys as much content as possible, and I don't want to take any chances that anything may get in the way of that. So, first up here, we have a video showing a brand new feature in the game, which is really, really cool, and I'm just going to let you guys see what it is so you can realize for yourself. Now, we see the main player here trying to catch an Oshawott, which we'll talk about all that in a moment, but it's really, really cool, super adorable. But as we see, the character is kind of running around here playing with the camera and the perspectives, but look at this. We have the option to go into a first-person view mode for the games. Now, everybody was super excited about this. They thought when we had that, 360 trailer or whatever, it was only just kind of a teaser, but we actually have the ability to go into first-person mode in the games. And now the really cool thing, when you're in this mode, you're actually able to look around and look at new Pokemon and get information about them. So you're able to kind of get an idea about what Pokemon it may be, what, maybe some tactics to catch it. I'm not really sure exactly kind of what details you can get, but it is mentioned in the game pretty early that if you do use this method, it'll help you learn more about your adventure and make it better for you to actually catch some Pokemon. So this is really cool. I know a lot of people have wanted this feature for a very long time, and now we finally have it, which is awesome. All right, and we saw this kind of on the previous screen, but you are able to catch all of the starter Pokemon from the Hisui region in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So you can catch your Cyndaquils, your Oshawotts, and your Rowlets by going into these time-space distortions. As you can see, the sky there is kind of like a purpley haze or whatever. That is because right now we're in one of these time-space distortions. Now, as of right now, we don't know how to trigger them. We don't know what causes them, but we do know they exist. And in those pockets, we get Pokemon from other, times and things like that. So we'll see things like Porygon, Magneton, stuff like that. But we also will see all of the starter Pokemon from Hisui. So that's really cool. That is a way you're able to actually complete your decks that way. And going on from there, we also have wild, fully evolved Sinnoh region Pokemon. So Pokemon like Infernape, Torterra, and Empoleon are just going to be in the overworld and you can catch them. And as we see here with the red eyes, this is an alpha Pokemon, which means it's going to be larger and probably pretty strong because it has those special boosts that it can use in combat, which are going to make all of its stats really strong. So I'm really excited about this. I can't tell if this is in a time-space distortion or not, because if we look, I'm going to use my mouse here. You guys can see there's like this white line. I don't know if that's just like a weird rendering thing, because the area doesn't look snowy, so I don't know why they would have that. Maybe it's light. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to signify the edge of a distortion, because they do kind of change colors, or if it just means that, Infernape is just chilling. I think I saw all three of them just kind of chilling out in the wild, so it should be fairly easy to get these, given that they're just kind of out there. But again, they are possible to be encountered as alphas, so make sure you're ready, because these things can kick a lot of butt if you're not prepared for them. So very, very cool that we can actually complete the decks potentially with our own game and not having to trade at all. Obviously, Pokemon is a very social game and you really want to trade, but for the first time in, the games pretty much ever, you might not have to. So going on from there, really interesting that in the overworld, when you encounter a Pokemon, you sometimes may encounter two. You can have a 2 versus 1 battle. Fortunately here, the player has Weasel, so Geodude shouldn't be too much of an issue, but it's really interesting that you may be able to have like kind of a uneven battle that you could encounter in the overworld, which is really crazy. And also, you could be battling one Pokemon and another one just decides to show up and join in, kind of the way like the totems had Pokemon come and help them. So it's really interesting that they're adding this feature And I'm really excited that, it adds a lot more realism to the game again, and will allow you to knock out a lot of Pokemon to get a lot of, training in and get a lot of benefits that way. So very cool idea, and just something to keep an eye out for, because if you are kind of on the back foot, just be careful if you're battling a Pokemon, because you may end up battling 2 or 3 when that Pokemon's buddies decide to come by and start helping out. Now, from there, we're going to move on to a new clip that we have. And guys, if you thought the evolution screen was pretty epic, this feature is pretty amazing as well. So this is actually going to be how we trade Pokemon with other players. And as we can see, the fireworks turn into a rocket, and our Pokeball flies away. And we have another individual who, their Pokeball is also rocketing towards us. And I don't have much else to say. This is awesome. I really apologize for the potato quality of this. That's how I got it, and I really wish it was better, because this is really pretty epic. But I think this is awesome. I can't believe they went ahead and made it like a full-fledged rocket engine, not just a little firework. So this is really cool. Shoutouts to, I believe his name is Unox on Twitch, who found this. Really interesting, really cool. And again, one of the more neat sort of additions they made to the game. And now I want to take a second to talk about sizes of Pokemon within the game. Now, in case you haven't heard, Pokemon Legends Arceus is doing a much better job of actually keeping Pokemon true to the sizes they should be. And on top of that, you can also have Pokemon of different sizes of the same species. So what am I talking about? Well, as we can see here, we have 2 different Machops, and they have different heights and different sizes in the game. So I believe one of these may be an alpha Pokemon, and one is, obviously larger as a result. It's like the king of the Machops. But it's very interesting that they actually are doing such a good job of keeping the scale of the Pokemon to the actual human. And honestly, this is just kind of representative of the 2 Machops, because in this image here, we can see that all the different Pokemon are scaled appropriately. So Machoke rather, I imagine that has to be an alpha because it's huge, but you are about the right size as Typhlosion. Sylveon there is small, kind of the right size. Golduck looks right according to the decks. Everything here is pretty darn accurate, and I think that is awesome. They're doing a very good job of, kind of keeping the sizes of everything correct. And like Dialga and Palkia are big, and they are huge in the game too. So it's very appropriate. They're actually really keeping all this together, and it's a really nice sort of change for Pokemon. Obviously, I know things like Wailord you'll always be a little bit hampered by because it's so big, but again, just seeing some attention to detail paid to actually making them the right size is really cool, and kind of really says a lot about the game and kind of what this means for the future of Pokemon. I think it's great. So we know that when you get KO'd in the game, you drop your, items you have on your person. You drop your satchel. What's interesting is that if you're connected to the internet, you can encounter other people's things that have been lost. So in the case here, Richie, Ava, and Maven all kind of had a bad day, got KO'd, blacked out, whatever, and they dropped their satchel of items. So you're able to find other people's items online through, whatever means this is. You connect to the online servers, and you're able to actually encounter these items that are left by other people, Fortnite-esque. And it's very cool they're incorporating that idea into this, which I think is really neat. I mean, as we can see here in the case of Maven, it says it contains 16 types of items, including rare candies. So this is really cool, and kind of really makes you feel that there are a lot of people existing in your world. Like, as long as this is implemented better than in Sword and Shield, where anytime like people are about to show up, the game kind of freezes for a second, I'm really excited about this, because it really is pretty interesting, and you're actually getting items that are, useful from the other players. I mean, you can always connect with people back in Sword and Shield, but they'd give you things like a loaf of bread or a sack of potatoes to make your curries with. In this case, you're getting real rare candies and potentially other really good items that can really help you in your journey, which I think is just awesome. All right, now moving on from there, I did want to talk about one other really important feature in the game that kind of has been covered to a degree, but now we have confirmation kind of on how it works. And, earlier we talked about you could have like a 2 versus 1 kind of battle, in the overworld, but there also are going to be hordes. Now, they call them mass outbreaks here, but we all kind of have an idea of what that is. You're going to see a lot of the same type of Pokemon in the same area all at once. It's currently being reported that you're probably going to have to battle them all at once. I haven't heard 100% confirmation on that just yet, but given how the battle system works, it's probably going to be the case. Now, that being said, a lot of people are also believing this is going to be tying into shiny hunting because, look, let's just think about this for a minute. So even if there are no actual, tangible benefits to doing this over, whatever other shiny hunting methods exist in the game, you're still going to be encountering what? How many are here? 4? I see 4 Weasels. So you'll be encountering 4 Weasels all at the same time. So even though all of those are only going to be 1, roll per, having 4 means you're going to have your roll basically multiplied times 4 because each one is going to be 1. So people are very excited to get in the games and try this. I'm not sure either way if it's going to work or not, but again, we do kind of have hordes back, which is really, really cool. And I do like the fact you can face so many Pokemon all at once because it really does add an air of kind of life and vibrancy to the game, which I think is really important. So going on from there, we're actually going to hop into a couple of tweets. Obviously, I'm going to unmirror my image for that so you guys can actually read them. But first up, we actually have a tweet from Blaine's, the other Blaine, and it's about something I found really cool about the game. All right, so Blaine's is reporting that everything respawns in 1 day cycle in the game. So if you have a Pokemon that's like a static encounter, you knock it out, you can face it again in a day. I think it also means like the tumblestones and the rocks and, things in the trees like your apricorns or any sort of berries you may encounter. All of those are going to regenerate within 1 day cycle. So we don't know how long a day cycle is yet in the game. It could be... Now, I don't know if he means like a cycle in the game because it's worded a little strangely here, but a day cycle could mean a few hours or it could mean like 24 hours of real world time. So we don't know that, but the important thing is that when we do understand how that works, there is going to be a recycling kind of thing going on where the items are going to respawn a lot, which is going to make it really easy to collect all those because crafting Pokeballs is a major element of this game. Now, going on from there, we're going to start hopping into some of the, post-game stuff, some of the more, developing and progressing through the games kind of stuff because there's a lot that we really want to unpack. So now, I know we've kind of been touching on spoilers so far. Obviously, nothing too heavy. This is where I really need to say there are some big spoilers coming. So again, if you don't want to be spoiled, I don't know why you're in the video in the first place, but I don't know, extra double warning now because we are heading into some super duper important stuff for the game. All right, so regarding the Pokemon Nobles, these are all the ones you're going to face in order. So as we see in chronological order, this is from a comment on Reddit, by the way, and I believe this person has the game early. So it says, in chronological order, the first one you're going to face is Cleaver. We knew that. Lilligant is next, which makes sense because we've seen that. And then Arcanine is number 3. From there, it's number 4 is Electrode. Number 5 is Avalugg. And he does say it's kind of interesting because everyone is either grass or rock. I imagine that's probably just a coincidence, but very, very cool. We do know now there are 5 Pokemon Nobles in the game that we are going to have to defeat. I think all of these are pretty cool. I really want to see what it's like to face the Electrode because we haven't seen that yet, but I do think it'd be kind of interesting depending on how large they make it or what it may look like. And it may be really, really cool to just kind of see battle with that one. Now, of course, do keep in mind the end battle against Dialga or Palkia is going to be in a similar format. They're not actually Pokemon Nobles, but the way the game sort of treats them, they behave like one because you still have to, knock them down, throw your bombs, and kind of weaken them that way. And then you're going to have to KO it over and over again, kind of the way you do with all the other Nobles. So in terms of your game experience, it really feels like there's 6, but, there are actually just 5. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I think that's a good amount. And, given the kind of work it takes to defeat one of them, I think it's a really cool idea they had and very cool how they kind of are incorporating these new Pokemon into the games to make sure you see them and make sure you get familiar with them as opposed to kind of how it was handled in the Lola where we're just kind of like, well, here they are, enjoy. So, all right, heading on from there, we now have some story elements here. And as we can see, when you go to the top of Mount Coronet, you're in pursuit of Commander Kamado. Now, he is the ancestor of Professor Rowan. He looks like Professor Rowan except with black hair. He has a really dope kimono on with a really cool picture on it. Now, let's read what it says here. So it says, head to Mount Coronet's Peak in pursuit of Commander Kamado. And it says that 3 times. And then talk sense into Commander Kamado at Mount Coronet's Peak. Now, a lot of people have taken this to mean that Commander Kamado may be like the turncoat kind of final villain of the game. We know that's not the case. But apparently Commander Kamado is going to go crazy or have kind of a, he flies off his, rocker kind of situation here, and you're going to have to chill him out. Now, I think that's cool. I think it's really interesting that it kind of may fake, having a final boss that you may have to face in Commander Kamado, but I think it's very interesting that you're going to have a big battle against one of Professor Rowan's, ancestors, because, we get the feeling Professor Rowan has seen a lot of stuff in the games, but we don't really get a sense of his true, actually, battling prowess or potential. And it's really cool to actually see that we're going to have this final battle against his ancestor in the games. It kind of veiled as kind of a final boss fight. I think that's really, really cool. And now you may be asking yourself, how do we know that he's not the final boss? Well, I'm going to tell you that right now. Once you defeat the game, the main storyline, you are going to have to face this character right now. This is Volo. They are a member of one of the guilds, and as we can see, it's saying Giratina, strike him down. Now, a couple things real quick. First of all, this shot looks incredible. I love the detail going into Giratina. It just looks very, very cool. Awesome. But we also know that Volo here is going to be one of the ancestors of Cynthia. Obviously, you can tell with the blonde hair there. And one storyline element I want to tell you guys about, again, major spoiler here, is that Volo is not actually evil. They're just kind of hell-bent on meeting God. And because of that, they are kind of teaming up with Giratina here for whatever reason. I don't know how that kind of factors into the story. All I know is that they're really just kind of on their own mission. Again, I like it because that's very much like Cyrus. You know, you could make the argument that Cyrus wasn't evil. He just was really dedicated to his own plan that was not by any means perfect. So we're kind of seeing that again here with how this character is portrayed, which I think is really, really cool. And we are going to have to face Giratina kind of at the end of the game after we defeat the main storyline. And they are kind of the big bad of the game with Volo here, even though, again, Volo is not strictly speaking a villain. So, I don't know. Very, very cool. Very interesting ending. Obviously, it kind of makes sense because, you know, ultimately, Giratina is kind of meant to represent, like, Satan the devil in the whole, like, divinity triad thing. But very interesting nonetheless. Really happy to see this. I can't wait to get in the game and start playing it because regardless of whether or not this is somewhat telegraphed, I just want to battle because I think this is going to be really, really cool. So going on from there now, we're going to hop over to Central Leaks. Now, again, I know how some people feel about Central Leaks. I don't care about the whole drama going on there. I just want to bring you guys some really cool news that they have reported. And basically, because they get it from so many different places, they often are very accurate with what they report. So going on from here, Central Leaks says, there's a very significant amount of story content in the postgame. The true villain of the game is postgame, which is obviously what we just talked about. And of course, completing all the side quests and catching Darkrai, Shaman, and Arceus. So, catching all the mythicals and Arceus is going to be a post-game type thing, which is really, really cool. Going on from there, it says, in the post-game, there is a new battle facility run by Ingo. So, we saw Ingo in some previous games. It was also featured in the trading card game. Obviously, Ingo and Emmett was a card. But Ingo is going to be running a battle facility, which is really, really cool because we do have a battle tree in the game. So you can actually reface some of the trainers you faced already. I'm really excited about that because, again, battle trees are a nice way to kind of spend the post-game and really kind of, hone your battling skills. And it's very interesting to me that you're going to be able to go back in and battle again using, your kind of different combat that's in Pokemon Legends Arceus with the strong and fast style, all that stuff. So, very exciting, very, very cool, and I really can't wait to get in and try that out in the post-game as well. After I battle Giratina and all that, of course. So, going on from there, so he says the Darkrai post-game side quest isn't just as simple as go there and get your Pokemon. So, even though Darkrai is like an event, it's not just go there and get your Pokemon, you actually have to do some work. So it's a real boss battle with its own gimmick, arena, music theme. The Shaman side quest also has some story content. So, having these sort of mythical Pokemon missions is actually going to be kind of like how it used to be in the old days. You're going to have to go get them, battle them, and actually catch them instead of just getting them like, here you go, here's a rare Pokemon, plop. So, I think that's really awesome. It really makes the gifts feel more important because, look, I love covering distributions. I love shiny Pokemon. I love legendary mythical Pokemon, all that good stuff. But again, I do really miss the days where you actually had to go battle them and catch them from those events because they really felt important and kind of epic. So, I really like that they're bringing that back. I think it's really cool and certainly is very thematic with Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is, really pushing the envelope these days on what really a Pokemon game is. All right, going on from there, we now have a twofer here, and it says, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, overleveled Pokemon will not obey you whether they're caught by you or traded. The star ranking system is replacement for gym badges. There are 10 levels, so 1 star unlocks Pokemon up to level 10, 2 stars up to level 20, and so on. So, really interesting that, even the Pokemon you catch may not obey you if they are overleveled, which is, again, a very clever way Pokemon is kind of making the game harder because you're not able to just, juice your Pokemon all the way to level whatever and just smash face. You actually have to battle at whatever level they're at and level them appropriately with the main game to make sure that things don't get too easy. So I think that's really cool. And then he posted an update here saying the exact number of levels that are unlocked at each star isn't accurate in the previous tweet. Some of you have pointed out, so they don't know exactly what the level thresholds are yet. Maybe it's determined in some kind of unique way in the game's code. We're not really sure what that is, but we do know that the stars correlate to what Pokemon will obey you or not. So obviously that's really cool. We do have kind of that system in place, which I like. So we definitely know the kind of method, even if you don't have all the answers just yet. We're going to go from there back into our talk about mythical Pokemon. And I really found this thing cool. So this is going to be part of the Manaphy event in the game. So as we can see here, our main character is facing what looks like a Manaphy and then 2 Fion here. So I think this is very interesting for sure. I don't know if this means you can catch multiple. I mean, they have... Okay, so there's only one Manaphy, so more than likely you can only catch the one, and I imagine there may be just some wild Fions. I mean, I don't really care because you can, you know, get Fions, but like, I don't know. I think that's very interesting. I just don't know what it really means here, because as you can see, this Drifblim is battling all of them because the order on the right-hand side is Drifblim, Fion, Manaphy, Drifblim. So I'm not sure. I don't really know quite what to make of that, but I think it's really interesting that certainly, you know, you can have kind of like a triple versus 1 battle against some mythicals. So I don't know if we've ever had that before in a Pokemon game ever. So it's certainly something I was not prepared to see, and certainly something I'm very eager to experience when the games do come out. And now that is the last spoiler I have for you. I did want to end on a really high note with all the mythicals here. We have so many leaks and so many more things that are going to be coming in the next week, and I can't wait to share it with all of you because I'm really excited about this game. I can't wait to get my hands on it, and I want to make every one of you as hyped as I am, especially when we are going to be giving away those 2 free copies to some of our subscribers. And if we do hit that 3,000 goal, maybe 3 of our subscribers, because once we get to 3,000 subs, if it is before the date of Pokemon Legends Arceus' release, we are going to add that extra copy into the prize pool as well. So make sure you're subscribed because one of the lucky winners could be you. All right, so there you have it, everybody. That's all the leaks we have for today. Again, a lot of cool content that we covered. We do have a lot of very thematic elements in the game that are really making the game feel very real and feel very kind of alive, which is really, really cool. We have other Pokemon who can join their buddies and team up on you. We may even have hordes, which could be a new way of getting shinies. We have, you know, starter Pokemon just ready out in the wild, able to be caught. The amount of things they're adding to this game that players have wanted for a while is really, really staggering and is really, really awesome. And I can't wait to get my hands on this game, dig through it, find all the secrets, and share all of them with you guys so you guys can take all of this knowledge into your Pokemon adventure when Pokemon Legends Arceus does come out. So that being said, everybody, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you found it informative. And again, I hope you're able to use this to kind of figure out what you want to do in Pokemon Legends Arceus, kind of what, you know, parts of the game are important to you and all that. And most importantly, I hope you're able to use this to, again, get a lot of enjoyment out of Pokemon Legends Arceus by getting very, very hyped because the release is almost here. So that being said, everybody, I've been Blaine for Bridge 4 Games. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. Again, if you did like the video, please make sure that you absolutely impact that like button in the face. And of course, consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help and you get to become part of our amazing Pokemon community where you never miss any of the awesome videos like this one. Most importantly, please remember that the best Pokemon games are the ones that you love to play, and the proper ways to play them are however you have the most fun. I hope each and every one of you have a happy, epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. See you around. Bye-bye.